Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Matchpoint Paradox. This is Santadeep making a debut on the series that we have for the IPL, and this is Anish Pathiyil into his third appearance. And of course, I don't know how many times you have said this, but cricket is the biggest religion in India. And when we are talking about the IPL, it's the biggest cricketing carnival, and the one of the most awaited contests has to be the CSK versus RCB in Chepauk. We had that today, and while I was coming to office, I saw so many yellow shirts. It feels so nice when we have a game in Chepauk. But today was not that great a day for the fans, because for the first time since 2008, RCB won a contest at Unbuden. Not that great news for Anish Pathiyil as well, but there were some takeaways for the fans. We finally got to see MS Dhoni hit the first sixes of this season and more. So I'll have Anish fill in on.
Quite a disappointing day for CSK fans as a whole. The CSK RCB rivalry is almost at par with the CSK MI rivalry.
Absolutely.
In terms of how much the fans go at each other on online social media, wherever it is. So seeing that the 17-year record is being broken, I think quite a disappointing day for CSK. Glimpses of good things though for the fans. Like you said, MS Dhoni scoring his first sixes of the season. He is now surpassed Suresh Raina to become the all-time top scorer for CSK in IPL history. And another crucial thing was that stumping. Just like how he managed to stump out Suryakumar Yadav in that first game against Mumbai.
Mind you, that man is 43.
Yeah, and the reaction time of 0.16 seconds, if I'm not wrong. So still has it in him. Quick glove work behind the stumps to send Phil Salt, who was looking really promising for RCB in the power play, looking at how they were going gung-ho in the power play. So that turned out to be a really crucial wicket. So very few glimpses of goodness, I can say, for the CSK fans today. Mm-hmm. And how did you see the game pan out? Where do you think RCB won the game?
Well, RCB did actually, get many things correct today. In fact, in their first game as well. One of the main things that worked out for them has been Josh Hazelwood. Although he has been struggling with injuries for quite a long time now, from the hip to the calf, the side strain, missed the Champions Trophy, missed the Sri Lanka series, and then finally comes back to IPL. I think one day ahead of the IPL we were discussing that whether he's actually back. Or not. There was no news about him, and then he comes and does this, magical same test match length he bowls and two similar wickets in the same over, getting the short ball and getting them to hold out to a player. So yeah, Hazelwood is doing what he has been doing, and after the match he said he's feeling at home at RCB. So other than Hazelwood, what do you feel about the match today, and what do you feel about RCB's batting?
Yeah, and I think compared to the last game in Mumbai, the pitch report said the pitch will slightly be slower, but they're expecting a higher score than what Mumbai did. Mumbai, of course, was under par. 154 was not the par score for that pitch, but they were saying it is a slightly better pitch. And despite that slowness being there, yes, we could see that the batters were able to play their shots a lot better. And that quick start in the power play really enabled Phil Salt and RCB to really push on. And despite Kohli struggled a bit in the initial few phases of play, I think it was 15 of 21 at some point. Then managed to get a few boundaries, bring it to around 100 strike rate, but still not the best, most fluent Kohli innings we can say. I think where RCB batting really did well was they had enough six hitters. So despite Noor Ahmed using his wily bowling, picking up 3 wickets, there's just enough turn for him, just ball stopping enough for him, beating the inside edge of the bat. I think Jitesh Sharma, be it Rajat Patidar, be it Devdutt Padikkal, who took on Jadeja in a favourable matchup, I think right after the power play. Tim David came, smacked 3 sixes at the end. So they had just the right number of boundaries to ensure that it was looking like it'll end up around 175 when Pathirana bowled the penultimate over and considered very less. But then those 3 sixes at the end really pushed it to an above par total.
True.
And CSK's batting did not follow the same template as RCB did it.
A similar template, I would say, it was very slow, and I didn't understand. Of course, at the end of it, you had come down to an equation where there was an uphill task, to get to the target, but I couldn't understand why you were not at least trying. It has been a pattern for CSK, but I understand that the target was also very, very high in this. 160, 170 odd would have been okay. but you really need to get going, and similar kind of batting, a lot of left-handers, and it has been troubling CSK. And one thing that worked against CSK rather was maybe Rajat Patidhar's captaincy and how he has been on point, in the first two games, taking on from the likes of Faf and Virat, who have led the team in on previous occasions, and an inexperienced guy like Rajat Patidhar comes in, goes to the unbox, even tells that this is my second home, and embraces the crowd altogether. So it's magical, and how he was active on the field, setting the field. He was very, very active in getting the field placements correct, and then that DRS decision where he was the one most confident, saying that he showed the tee and he went upstairs when no one, even the bowler didn't know that we hadn't heard, hadn't registered that sound. Okay, so on that note, I think, like, Anish, do you have any parting notes for this video?
Yeah, so CSK again, they were expected to perform well at home, so I think this result is a big jolt to them because they have picked a team, three excellent spinners in Noor Jadeja, Ashwin, to help them win those 7 matches at home, which will go a long way in pushing them up towards the table. But such a heavy defeat, 50 runs, I think is their worst defeat in Chepauk in IPL history. So I think that will put a lot of question marks on CSK's batting. They took on a lot of Indian batters this time, those who haven't been in the best of form over the last 3-4 years. People like Rahul Tripathi, Deepak Hooda. Generally, batters come to Chennai, they find a new lease of life. They're expected to do well. Tripathi and Hooda have that ability to clear the boundary. Tripathi goes gung ho against pacers early on in the power play. Deepak Hooda has a six-hitting ability against spin. But their failures in both the first two matches, I think, slight warning signs.
It's not okay. It's CSK.
Yeah, it's not a team that will immediately start changing
a lot of things,
order or whatever.
Yes.
But yes, there are issues to be addressed for CSK if they want to keep this template of winning as many games at home as possible. I think this loss has made sure that NRR also falls a bit. So they have fallen from 4th to 7th in the table. Whereas RCB's victory against KKR, that was also quite comfortable one. Plus, this means that their NRR has gone up to around 2.23.
The two teams that RCB faces problems against, they've started,
Correct. So, good 2 away wins for RCB to start the season. They're comfortably placed on top now. Things will get tricky for them when they go back to the Chinnaswamy, which is where they suffer. And I hope hopefully the toss goes well for them there, and this time they have the bowling attack to probably challenge after putting on 200 plus totals. So then we have Gujarat taking on Mumbai in the next game. What promises to be another high scoring encounter, looking at how Narendra Modi Stadium has been. So stay tuned for all the action from the Gujarat versus Mumbai game, and keep following Sportstar on YouTube, in our social media handles, and our live blogs as we take you through all the remaining matches of IPL 2025. Thank you.
See you.